Coach Karabo, unfortunate loss for you in the final. You lost to TUT. The first game of this campaign was against them, you lost. The final game of this campaign, once again you played them and lost. What are your overall thoughts on this performance today?
Yeah, firstly, congratulations to TUT, a worthy adversary. On the physical component, they'll always challenge you with height, with the longer balls. We knew that's how they will play. They've got two approaches. Sometimes they'll play on the ground and come to you if you let them. But in the midfield, they could not play. They could not bypass us, and we closed them down in the midfield. They could not go through. So we started applying a little bit of pressure in the last line so that they can play that ball forward, because we wanted to win that first ball and transition from there, because they sometimes push a lot of numbers, especially on the wing backs, and make their structure narrow. And this is where we tried with our wing backs to exploit them. We did a lot of times. It's just a matter of something's not coming through. The chances we created in the first half, in the second half, I think we should have buried a number of them. We should have buried a number of chances, or maybe also delivered better balls for the strikers. Yeah, I'm a realist, so I will analyze how better we can play next time, how we can better try to get goals, because I'm not pleased with certain positionings, tactical positioning in the box, and this is what we have to work with, especially if you don't have an out-and-out number 9. You'll always need a little bit of mobility, but timed mobility, not just rushing into the box, and also tactically on a positional side as well. We need good placement of our players in certain areas of the field. But yeah, you'll have to agree that it's a final. It's got its own emotions. It's just a matter of trying to control those emotions a little bit better. In the last 10 minutes, I think if we control the emotions a bit better in the field of play, we could have got something from the game. But it's a game of football. It's a game of football. Sometimes the victors will wonder how they won. The losers will also wonder how they lost. And we just have to congratulate TUT for taking their chances and securing the trophy. They've won it for the third time. We're still looking for our second.
Coach, like you said, you knew how they'll come at you, and you knew their strength physically in terms of set pieces. What did you put in place to counter that, and where do you think you failed to deal with that, since those two goals came from set pieces?
I think the most important thing for us was to deal with the second ball. The first ball can always be a challenge. It can always drop anywhere. And I think when we analyzed them, we said, guys, don't let it drop. And unfortunately, I think the first goal came like that. It dropped in an area where they got to the ball first. And we know how they play. They scored like this in their first game here, from a second ball, from a throw-in, second ball, and then they latched onto it. So we try to deal with the first ball so that it's not a clean drop for them, and then aggressively try to deal with the second ball. So also, if you look at their long balls to the striker, they tried to do the same. He tried to flick them. At first, he tried to set them up so that they can shoot, and then the second option was for them to flick the ball so that the attacking mid can bypass. It nearly happened a number of times, but I think we were in control mostly. We know how they play on the physical side, and how they want to approach the games. It's just a matter of dealing with it. It works for them, so I don't think they'll change. If it works for them, it works. They get trophies because it works. So it's for everyone else to try to deal with it. And I think, obviously, moving forward, it's one of those things. We will probably meet at the USAs again at the end of the year. I think they are the champions as well of the USAs. We'll try and go after them in the USA Club Champs.
Coach Karabo, a while back I spoke to you and you mentioned that teams have cycles. You've built this team, they won the title last year. they've reached a final now. In terms of the cycle, where is this team now? Do we expect that they'll be phased out and new players will come in, or they can still go on for maybe another season or two?
Yeah, unfortunately, in this instance, I cannot control the cycle fully because you might have a situation where some of them might sign with other clubs. Other clubs are looking to secure their services. So it's a little bit difficult to really say whether they are staying or not, you know. We'll just have to do a recon, just check with the players who has got offers or who's been approached to go elsewhere. But we've got a good crop of youngsters. We've got a good crop of youngsters coming through, and just take a year or two just to come up and be extremely competitive. But we've got, I think, 60% of the squad staying behind, you know. 60% of the squad staying behind, the one that played this year. And within the group, there's a number of youngsters who can come through. Obviously, this year, they limited us to 18 players on the field and the bench. And normally it's 20, so you could have seen a number of youngsters as well on the bench. And we could have possibly in some stages tried to blood them, you know, give them 10-15 minutes of that experience of varsity football. But it's tight when you're trying to win games, and with such a small squad on the field and the bench, to call the youngsters up, you know. I think it just denies the youngsters a bit of opportunities as well to feel the pressure of the tournament, you know. Sit on the bench, feel how it's like, you know, get 10 minutes, get 15 minutes here. Yeah, but it's, in terms of cycles, I think we're not at the end of the cycle of these ones yet, but it's a 50-50, right? Because we don't know who's going and who's staying. I'm just hoping that even those who are going will still be studying next year. I think a lot of the winners, the victors of this tournament over time have had a good retention plan. And we also need a good strategic retention plan to say you can still do your masters while you are playing for NFT or whatever, you know, because you're doing research mostly and you are basically having interviews with your sponsor or, you know, with the professors. So it can be done, but we just need to be smart about it, just need to be a little bit clever. But also, do the guys want to do it, you know, do they want to go through that pressure, that stress while they're playing professional football or, you know, a high level of competition. But yeah, a really good strategic retention plan can work and maybe prolong this bit of success a little bit longer, perhaps.
Coach Karabo, thank you very much for your time and hard luck. Hopefully you'll bounce back in the USAs.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.